today's episode of Conversations with Karen and Kat. I'm Karen Scott Green.
And I'm Kat Hardrick.
And we are here today with Melissa Marrero and Tannia Zarate with Hispanics United Alliance for the Missing.
Yes. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for inviting us.
Thank you for
We're so happy to be here. This is our first podcast, so exciting.
All right. Well, thank you for being first with Conversations with Karen and Kat.
Yes, we're so excited to talk to you two. We met you at the Gwinnett County Police Forum that was held last month with the Hispanic community, where the community was addressing their concerns that you have with the police department. And we saw the two of you there in the crowd, and you were speaking, and it raised our awareness about missing and endangered Hispanic people in the community that we weren't aware that wasn't getting getting media attention. So tell us why the alliance was founded.
Yeah, so we actually met through a Facebook post with Susana Morales' case, and we just found that it was a long time for her disappearance, and then Rodrigo's case came along, so we actually decided that something needed to be done. So that's how we actually got and started. We decided to join forces. It was just me and Melissa.
Well, thank you for bringing awareness. How long has the organization?
So we just decided to do something and stand up.
Okay. Looks like we got a little bit of feedback. Yeah, a little bit of a lag. How long has the organization been? How long ago did you found the organization?
The exact date, Melissa? Do you know the exact date? I would say February.
It happened right after the body of Susana Morales and Rodrigo Morales, Rodrigo, Maya, and Floriano were found. It was on a Friday that we started.
And so to bring awareness to the plight of missing persons here in Gwinnett County, there was a rally that you guys held or that you sponsored back in February. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. So our first protest was outside of the Gwinnett County Courthouse. That was our first protest. We actually weren't expecting as many people as we had. And that was, to prove in regards to the Susana's case and Rodrigo's case. And while we were there, that's when we heard of Selena's Garcia's case, that she's been missing since October of last year. So that really was the spark to everything. That was, okay, this is too many cases back to back. What's going on? So we obviously needed answers from the police department.
Okay. And we have a little clip from the media, Channel 11, I believe it was, that aired.
The Hispanic community in Gwinnett County are calling for justice tonight. They claim the police department doesn't take their cases seriously. But as Fox 5's Angelique Proctor reports, the police department disagrees.
Protesters targeted the Gwinnett County Police Department, saying there were lots of problems there, but they say the issues go deeper than that and extend to the entire government.
What do we want? When do we want it?
Now! The Hispanics United Alliance chanted and held up posters complaining that the Gwinnett County Police Department mistreats and discriminates against people in the Hispanic community.
We can't have confidence in the police. We have to do our own search parties. We feel like us as a Hispanic community, that they're not paying just as importance as any other case.
Protesters point to 16-year-old Susana Morales' case and 16-year-old Rodrigo Floriano Mayans.
From what I understand, the police ruled it as a fentanyl overdose, and that the gentleman who has been arrested, who's in Gwinnett County now for it, had moved the body. It's pretty clear at this point that he was not the only one involved, and that this was not an accident.
They also complain that Gwinnett police are not doing enough in Selena Garcia's case. The 24-year-old has been missing since last October.
We have not heard from her. Her friends have not been helpful in this situation either, and neither has the police department.
Gwinnett police are firing back, saying, as a department, we are committed to serving our community through the delivery of professional law enforcement services in an unbiased and compassionate manner. These protesters say officers' actions speak louder than words.
When a Hispanic person goes to the department to make a report, I don't want them to label us as, oh, they're just gang members, they'll be fine. Oh, they're Hispanic girls, they just ran away.
These protesters say they want to do more than just chant. They say they want real change and would like to meet with the top police brass in the coming days. In Gwinnett County, Angelique Proctor, Fox 5 News.
So that is powerful. I mean, how do you guys feel about that with that march? The comments that the individuals were saying, how the police treat our Hispanic brothers and sisters when they go in to make reports.
So we've noticed that it's actually causing a big problem. There's obviously when we're going to report them, we know they're following a certain. I would say there's some sort of I don't know guidelines that they have to follow.
So we're getting feedback.
And obviously the way.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. So when we're going to report our cases, we know that there is some set of guidelines already set in place, right? Well, the issue with those set of guidelines is that it's making our kids or our persons not be as important as others. Some are falling into a case where they might be running away because they have missed court, because they have some sort of background on running away, or just different things going on in their life that I believe should not matter when it comes to a person missing. I mean, if a mother comes and is reporting their kid missing, or a sister's coming and say, hey, my sister's missing, right? We believe that it shouldn't matter what were they doing prior to that, right? If anything, it should put a priority in them, because obviously if there is a criminal background, or if there is some sort of involvement with other types of criminal activities, organizations, then it should put a big alert on it that it's obviously not just the person deciding to walk out.
So I know one of the things that we heard when we were, because as a result of this rally, the organization did have the sit down with the police that we came to as well. And one of the common things that we heard from the participants who came up to speak was that, oh, hey, little one. We love little ones.
Sorry, guys.
We have real lives. That's why we do what we do.
So one of the common things that we heard, or that seemed to run between each of the stories, was that there wasn't a lot of communication from the police with the Hispanic community.
Right.
And so a lot of the families were just coming up out of frustration, it seemed to me, frustration from not hearing from the police, like getting updates
about their own case. I think one lady was like a year. She hadn't heard anything. It was something like that. So that's crazy and insane. So how are you able to navigate? Did I just take over? I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Because I want to know, how do you navigate through that space when I know the feedback from the panel was, oh, we're very open, we're very easy to reach. just reach out to ABC person, but yet you still have a whole audience of people who don't get feedback. So how are you able to navigate that or educate the community? How should they go about doing that?
So we're hoping that they come to us. We're hoping that we could pretty much be that bridge, right? What I do and what Tannia do, what we actually get together on the phone and we're like, okay, who's calling who now? Because yes, there is a disconnection between the department and that family. Sometimes we have, like you mentioned, there's a family who reported their sister missing October of 2022. And the first time us actually hearing of Selena missing was February of 2023.
Wow.
And her sister directly, she reached out to us. We actually got to speak prior to that, and she said to me, I've been trying to contact the detective and no one is answering. You know, I had to hire a private investigator. Now we all know that private investigators are a pretty penny, right?
Yeah.
So to us, it worries us because we all don't have the money, right? We all don't have that big of a family that could, hey, let's put some cash together, right? And it's a problem. Then the case with Rodrigo Mayan Floriano, he was reported missing on a Saturday. And Saturday and Sunday and going into Monday, his mom kept calling the police department to tell them like, hey, this is going on. I'm receiving tips. Can you go look? And her response, well, the police response to her was pretty much like, you have to wait till Monday when the investigator on your case comes in. So to me, it was shocking. Like to me, it cannot happen.
Right. Was this the young man that they
on
found
Monday,
dead?
when the mom came, yes, his parents found him dead on Monday because no one else could have gone out and looked for him. So, and actually that report was made outside of that person who's in jail, outside of his house. I believe that's actually where the report was initiated. So it's just been so many things that's happened, and it actually made me question, what happens if I go missing?
Right.
Am I gonna be a fugitive, or do I decide to leave? I mean, I don't have reasons to disappear, right? The case of Susanna, for example, they're saying that she was reported missing on it was the next day from when she didn't come home, right? The next morning. She was on her way home in that evening. She texts her parents and she's like, I'm on my way home, and she was on her way home because there's proof, there's videos, and then she never makes it home.
Is that the story where the police officer where the cab police officer is implicated in her disappearance or her death?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And which is weird. I mean, it's scary if you think about it, because if someone is being reported that they're saying they're on their way and they never make it home, how are you considered a runaway?
Right.
I mean, wouldn't that make you think twice?
Correct.
I would think somehow that would raise the question, right? How is she a runaway if she's telling her mom she's on her way home?
Right.
It's something
I
cannot begin to understand.
And the police also told them that they had 48 hours to report somebody missing, and that was also misinformation. You should report somebody missing as soon as possible. There's no time frame.
They say a what now? They say is it an age or does it matter?
There is no age when it comes to reporting someone missing.
But the family was given wrong information, and that delayed the actual reporting. So what are next steps for your organization with helping families with missing persons?
So we are actually in the process of meeting with we met already with the DA for Gwinnett DA, which she's actually opened up her doors and is giving us the support we need to pretty much bring awareness to the community. She's told one of the investigators to come and pretty much help us, right, to give awareness. He actually volunteered, and he said, I'm willing to help you guys. Like, if you're gonna give prevention awareness classes, I'll be there. I could give those classes, and I'll introduce myself, who I am, and what we do, pretty much, right? And I said, perfect. So we are in the process of setting something up for that. And then the Gwinnett Police Department, they have given us a date to meet in person with the chief of police, the chief of staff, and other police officers that pretty much work with the community, or that are involved with the community affairs.
So we're pretty excited about that meeting because we're definitely going to be able to get our questions answered from them. At the town hall, we had so many questions, but we didn't want to take everybody else's time. So we're excited to have that meeting with them.
Do either of you know how many Hispanic persons are missing right now in Gwinnett County?
So I have a list, because I found a database which is called NAMUS, and it has a list of missing people, right? Missing persons. And I found in Georgia only, I found about 26 cases there. And I'm talking about the latest is probably like 2022, 2021, going back to 1999. And I have never heard of there's kids, there's adults, and I have never heard of the kids that are in that list until I went into the database and I was able to see.
Are these missing persons, or how are they classified, those 26?
They're classified as missing, but we still have to get in contact with the family to confirm all the details.
Okay. What can the general public do? What can the general public do? What can anybody who's watching?
They can definitely follow us on our page. Share every flyer we put out. We are going to confirm, like I said, with those 21 cases, we're trying to get a hold of the families, so we're able to, confirm if they're actually still missing or what's the case is. Once we do, then we'll be slowly releasing the flyers coming directly from us. So we have set a process that, we don't want to just post everything. We have to confirm with the family first and have their approval as well in sharing, their missing family members. So that's our first step right now, is trying to get in contact with those family members. But we definitely, you know, ask the community that if they see anything, report it. If they don't feel comfortable going to the police, they can come directly to us, and we'll be happy to take that over, you know, directly to the police if they want to stay anonymous. But, you know, we really do encourage everybody to follow and share. And if you see something, speak up.
And you can be found, anyone can follow the organization on TikTok, IG, and Facebook at Hispanics United Alliance, correct?
Yes, you can find us on all the social media platforms with Hispanics United Alliance.
And I've got some information that I wanted to share that shows the Hispanic United Alliance. And your theme is, our Hispanic women, girls, men, and boys are being, ooh, that print is really small. Are being taken from us. Our system and is continuously failing us. We must keep using our voices until we are heard. Let's raise our voices together. Let's make, oh wow. So, all right. So missing right now, currently, Selena Garcia. Date of birth, February 20th, and she's been missing since October 8th, 2022. She's 25 years old. She's missing from Norcross, Georgia. She's a Hispanic female, white complexion, 5'3". She weighs between 100 and 160 pounds. Hair color brown, medium to long length, and brown eyes. She was last seen walking on Jimmy Carter Boulevard in Norcross. Last seen wearing red shirt with bright green letters, gray sweatpants, black sneakers. Distinguishing marks, she has a tattoo that says Garcia down on her right arm and Zaida down the left arm, and a rose-like tattoo on her hand. So if you have any information, please call or text 678-390-5115. Again, that's 678-390-5115. And again, you can find this information on either Facebook, IG, or TikTok at Hispanic United Alliance. So again, if you see something, please call, reach out, let someone know, because our Hispanic brothers and sisters go missing, just like when our Black brothers and sisters go missing. There's not a lot of media attention that is out there, unfortunately, and we need to change that.
Yeah. And actually, also, ladies, don't you actually help anyone? You don't necessarily have to be Hispanic. You're open to helping anyone that's missing, correct?
Yes, that is correct. I was about to mention that, you know, minorities are the ones that usually go disproportionately labeled and missing. But we will help anybody that reaches out to us. There's no question regarding that.
And while that is the case, I wanted to make sure that we are highlighting an issue that we weren't aware of. Correct. So that's why we wanted to do this show and to have Melissa and Tanya on, so that you can speak to these concerns, because quite frankly, I was ignorant about these three persons who are missing right here in Gwinnett County, and these young people, two who have now their bodies have been recovered, but there's still other folks who are missing. I had another statistic. Let me share my screen.
And while she's doing that, we definitely want to make sure we lift the voices of the families and making sure their stories are heard. And we also want to partner with our leadership so that we can patch those holes where you ladies are discovering that communication breakdown is there. Like, we should not have to wait months to get support, or a family should not be the person to find their missing loved one. Like, that's totally unacceptable. And we're hoping that this broadcasts far and wide so that you guys can get the much needed support. So Karen has her slide up.
Yeah, because right now, well, as of August 1st, 2021, this slide is now almost 2 years old, but in August 2021, there were over 20,559 people missing from the 55 territories and states. And of those missing, 16% were Black, 11 are Hispanic. So those are numbers that we need to all be aware of. We all need to be vigilant and be aware that folks are out there, and not everyone who is missing has walked away.
Correct.
Some folks are endangered. Yeah. Is there anything, Melissa and Tannia, that you wanted to add?
Yes. Part of what we're doing also, and what we see is lacking, is not only the system that is broken, right? But it's also us as a community. We mainly focusing on the Hispanic community because we come from different countries. Customs are different, our culture is different, our language is different. It's just so many things against us, right? And like I always say, we all come in different colors, right? So we're also part of what we're going to do is educate our community, right? Because we do believe we need to have, in order for us to be able to say, hey, this is wrong, well, we need to start doing the right thing. And then surely enough, we're going to say, oh yeah, this is definitely wrong, because now it's not us delaying the process. Now it's proven to be you delaying the process, right? Or if we come and we don't search, because a lot of us have the idea that once we report our missing, the police is going to go out there and search, right? Because that's in movies, that's everywhere, which that's not going to happen. The protocol, or I read a policy for Gwinnett County where it says they have to assess the situation, right? So at the end of the day, it comes down to whoever's assessing the situation, meaning pretty much it could wind down to a perspective, right? What you think or what you're seeing, or if it adds up or if it's not. So that becomes a problem. So we're pretty much trying to educate them so they could go out, do their report, give the correct information. And not only that, but whoever's at home watching the news, pick up the phone. Don't be scared to say, I saw that young lady, or I just saw that man over here, or I just saw that child. I saw her crying, right? Because we know that there is no crime that goes perfect. We know that there has to be someone who sees something.
Absolutely.
You know,
That's right.
There is no way. There is no way. And that's pretty much how we have to teach each other these things. Because I was telling Tannia earlier, since being little, we're taught, what is it? Snitches get stitches.
Snitches get stitches.
And mind your business. If it doesn't concern you,
Yeah.
mind your business. So we grow up with that mentality, minding our business, you know. But the sad part is that we don't know what could be happening. If somebody's being pushed into a car, we're minding our business, and then 3 weeks later they find that person that was being pushed into a car down in a ditch, right? Instead of us at that moment picking up the phone and calling it out.
Right.
I am so glad.
It takes the department to do their job, and it takes us.
That's right, in the community.
I am so glad that you said that, because that is a theme that has been in the Black community as well. Snitches get stitches, but the whole thing behind snitches get stitches is when you commit a crime with somebody else.
Right. You better not rat them out.
Yeah, snitching on the person who you're doing the crime with. Not about if you're the victim of a crime, you're not supposed to tell, or if you see a crime committed, you're not supposed to, like that it got twisted somehow.
Right.
It really got twisted. But we do need to break through that culturally, that people are afraid to speak up, or they don't want to get involved because they're afraid of what could happen, what may happen, or it's just they feel like it's not their business, it doesn't concern them. And we do need to break through that, because unless and until folks in the community start saying, hey, I saw something, I'm not sure what it is, but this doesn't seem right.
Look, my auntie is in Chicago, honey. They have a sign in the window that says, we call the police. And we need to start doing that, because if it's you will want a village to come out and help you find your loved one. So let's take this seriously, and let's really do our part.
Yes.
When you're doing the preventive awareness, that's the event where we're going to have an education on our culture and our backgrounds and how to fill out paperwork. Is that the event you're speaking of, to educate the community?
Yes, it is going to be it is going to be set in that way. And also it's going to definitely have to include the times, right? the right times of how soon to make those reports, or how, where to surge, or who's gonna search. Because sometimes we even wonder why they're not searching my room. Why didn't they come and search my house? There's so many things that we think that it's supposed to happen, and it doesn't happen. So all those questions that will be answered in those events. The first podcast, or at least from the DA, it is going to be in Spanish, because we get everything in English. It never works out in Spanish at all. So I'm hoping that when we speak with the Department of Gwinnett County Police, that they will be able to provide an English and Spanish, because it doesn't just affect us, right? And just because we're Spanish or Hispanics doesn't mean that. I mean, my brother doesn't even speak Spanish correctly. To tell you the truth, if you sit him to listen in Spanish, he'll be like, "What? Okay." So it is needed. It's needed in Spanish and in English.
Right.
Tanya, were you going to say something?
I was, but I lost track of what I was gonna say. But yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree better with Melissa. We just have to, in order for us to make a change, we have to unite with the community as well as with the police department. And, we just have to earn that trust from the community and from the police department to be able to make these changes that are needed. We want to educate the community in regards of how the process works, in regards to missing cases. A lot of them don't know. We're just learning. We still have questions that need answers to be able to guide them through the right path. So it's a lot, but it takes, like she said, it takes a village. And we're working, and we're so happy to have people like yourselves that are also part of the community that want change.
That's right. I just thought of this question. Do you think that there's underreporting of missing people, particularly in the Hispanic community? Do you think that there may be underreporting of folks who are actually missing? And either one of you can take that.
Yeah, I mean, I think within our culture, not only is there a language barrier, but there's also immigration status that has to do with it. A lot of people don't want to come forward or say something because they're scared, and that's another thing that we have to educate our community within that department. Even though you're undocumented, you still have rights, and you shouldn't be scared to speak up and say something. At the end of the day, we're all human beings, and we're all here for the same reason. So I think in that regard, that's also a part that we want to educate our community, that they shouldn't be scared. And like she said, we want to be that bridge. So if they're scared, they can come to us, and we won't report them or any of that sort, because a lot of things do go under the rug for just that reason, just that one reason.
Okay. We've
We've
all got to work to change that. And is there anything else that
We didn't cover
that you want to make the public aware of, make the community aware of, any upcoming events or any other services that your organization provides that you want to make the community aware of?
So we mainly want to let the community know that we're not just a group who sits around and does protests or does rallies, right? Doing protests and doing rallies are good. There's no doing a protest doesn't mean it's going to end up in a riot, right? Because I believe it's misunderstood many times. There's a big difference between what a protest is and a riot. But when it's needed, we will come out as a community, right? But our main job is to be there for those who need us, you know, one way or another. Maybe I haven't lost or I don't have someone missing, but I know what it is to feel alone. I know what it feels to have 10 people around and still feel like no one understands you, right? So one of our main focuses is not just doing, you know, showing you, putting out flyers, doing searches, but it's also giving you what gives my calm, my peace, right? In this opportunity, I'm Christian, so I'm gonna share my faith with you. I believe that the Lord plays a big role, and it's what He says, right? He's your peace through the storm, and that is very important for us. He is our priority, and we do this out of His love, because we all at one point have felt unloved, and when we came to Him, now we're somebody. And I always say that my identity is in Jesus. He is me, and that's what I want to also give to these families. It's His love, His compassion. I'm sorry.
No, girl, because you're about to pull it down on me too.
Absolutely beautiful.
That's right. You are a great person.
Yeah, and that's what really moves us at the end of the day, is trying to help others, and our main focus is the missing, but we've received different cases of different scenarios, and we'll always be there to support and guide them. If we're not able to help, we'll definitely refer them to any other organization that does what is needed. So the community can be happy to reach us in regards, we'll be happy to help anybody in need.
That is beautiful.
Yeah. This is the end of the month of women, and what a great show to have.
Absolutely.
You ladies are doing remarkable work. You have your families. I see your baby Melissa coming in, and you're really doing what God has led you to do. And then that's when you're on the right path.
And they also do food drives. I peeped that on your Facebook. Because did you have a food drive today?
Yes. I won't take the credit. There's other organizations that are behind that have reached out, and we share their flyers. So we definitely, anything that can help the community in any way, we will definitely share it.
Absolutely. We love it. So, but we want to thank you ladies for joining us today on this episode of Conversations with Karen and Kat,
where we are impacting the world one conversation at a time.